Hello everyone. Let's continue to the Chinese learning course. Okay. From last video, I come up with a conclusion. A conclusion is about how we learn Chinese, the method. Because from a last video, obviously I experienced something which I would like to share with you about the learning process. Okay, one of these phenomenon and we see from the last video is that let's take an example by the word 历史, which means history, right? And then yesterday, from the last video, what we went through is first, and we try to find the single word 力, and then try to find its meaning. And what about 力? And then I showed you that the results of the 力. And we look at the results of the 力, and then it gives out three definition, but this is incomplete, and also I think and it's useless, almost useless, and when you try to remember these definition, because why? I show you, and now the conclusion is that for a Chinese native speaker, even for me, for example, when I look at the word 力, my mind comes up with almost nothing. I have a very vague, grasp of the concept of 力. Because why? Because this 力, there are a lot of different scenarios and using the 力. What I mean is that this 力, it can combine with other words and to combine to form, for example, 历程, 历次, 历代, 历法, 历届. There are so many phrases, and all these phrases, it's a little bit, although definitely it is related to the single word 力, but the meaning is pretty much different and from the single word. So it's almost useless. You try to remember the single word 力. What is its definition? So for the foreigners, you want to study Chinese language, the approach should be you look at the phrase. You look at the phrase, for example, 历程, and you try to remember or study the phrase 历程 and 历次 when you encounter it in the text. So, and after you can understand, comprehend all these, almost and many of these phrases, for example, 历程, 历次, 历代, 历法. After you understand these phrases, then in your mind, you may come up with some rough idea about this single word 力. So, and in studying in Chinese, you should not first start look at the single word. It's a waste of time. You should look at these phrases, and these phrases will show you a relatively definitive definition. And I will give out a example. Okay, so this 历史, for example, let me try to list here. This 历史, sorry, this 历史 is equal, just hold on a moment, equal history. Okay, let's look at this one. I will add this one just a minute. Okay, now look at these two. Okay, 历史 in English equals history. Now the difference is that this concept history in English only one word. So when I speak, when non-native English speaker, when I study the English, I need to remember the word history. This one word, because this one word history has a pretty much very clear meaning, definition, very clear, well-defined definition, and you have to remember this and history, this word, when you learn English. But when you learn Chinese, the definition or the concept of history is represented by two words. It is represented by a phrase, 历史. So it's useless and for you to only try to remember only one word, either the 历 or the 史. It's useless. You know, when you look at the single word 历, it does not represent history. If you look at the single word 历, the definition has almost no relationship to history, you know. And when you look at the single word 史, okay, this word 史 has some kind of a much closer relationship with history, because the single word 史 can represent history. Okay, now but normally speaking, when we speak history in Chinese, normally we will use two words, 历史, but sometimes we can use one word, 史, but not 历. Okay, if you use only one 历, it's not history. But if you use one word 史, it can represent history. That's the difference. But in the majority of those Chinese words, it is, from my point of view, it is pretty much waste your time. And when you each try to remember or learn each Chinese word, you know. And the best way to approach Chinese is you just try to remember this phrase, and which you know, has a very clear definition, equals to the one English word or the concept. So, and when you approach a language, this is I think, and let's take another analogy. When you let's take another example. When you study English prepositions, for example, on, to, for, from, when you study these words, you're not study it from the single word. You only study it from the phrase. You know, on time, on Sunday, for example, you automatically, if you study on Sunday, the phrase, you will gradually on Sunday, on blah blah, on whatever. When you study these phrases, eventually you will have a rough idea about the preposition on, and you will know when it will be used and on what kind of a situation. So, and this is my first conclusion when I made the first video, that I found out that if you try to learn a single Chinese word, it's pretty much a waste of your time. You know, you rather better to study Chinese from the standpoint of phrases. You try to remember those phrases which has a relatively defined definition, a relatively clear definition. So from this, from this, after you learn, and all the, most of the phrases are related to some single word, you will get a rough understanding of this single word, and also we can see here that not each Chinese single word has the same weight of meaning in your mind. What I want to point out this, and very importantly, it's not equal weight. For some word, you may have a very clear concept in your mind. For example, this word 死. When the Chinese native, for example, from now on, I should point out, from now on, when I say I, which means I as a native Chinese language speaker, okay, from my point of view, equals from the native Chinese language speaker point of view, okay. So just for easy, for easy communication. So when I look at the word 死, I have a pretty much clear idea about this word's meaning. But when I look at the single word 力, the concept of this word in my mind is pretty much vague. I don't know, and it depends on, what kind of other word or words it will combine, to form a relatively clear idea. So that's why we should not learn, the Chinese language word by word. It's a waste of time. And the best approach, from my point of view, is that you try to remember the phrase, which has a definitive meaning, like a history, for example. History is called 历史, okay? So this is and what I got the perspective from last video, from my first English, Chinese language learning, lecture. Okay, so when we go through these and studying process, I will find some insight as I talk about these language and phenomenon. So this is because I'm not a Chinese language expert. I'm just a normal, common native speaker. But my Chinese is pretty much enough to give you guys a kind of learning and learning experience, because I think my Chinese language level is far above any ordinary foreign learners, right? Also, because I'm a native speaker, my sense of the Chinese language is not compatible. Is not compared. It cannot be compared with the foreign learner, because my Chinese language sense, I believe I'm pretty confident, was better than any foreign learners. This is inherent in a native speaker, the sense of the language. So that's why I can teach you, not teach. I have to humbly say, I will give out my language studying opinion and hopefully help those who try to master the Chinese language. This is, I think we have to talk about. Okay, now let's go back and to last video, what we finished. Last video, for some kind of some kind of reason of this recording software, I omitted the first paragraph, because I remember I read out the first paragraph, then and all of a sudden the first paragraph disappeared. So last video we began this article by the second paragraph. So now we are going back to the first paragraph. Or let me check, and if we will, okay, let's finish the second paragraph and then go back to the first paragraph. Okay, so last video we finished at the 早期, right? And then we come up with this one, 人类. So we check about 人类. What means 人类? 人类 is human beings. Okay, human beings, 人类. Now let's check about the dictionary. 人类. Sorry. 人类. 人类. Mankind, humanity. The humankind, the human race. Yeah, the human being, okay, the human being, 人类. 人类, normally speaking, it is a collective noun. We can say this is a collective noun. You can say that. It is a collective noun, equal to English collective noun. Okay, 人类, human beings, or mankind. We can say this is the most close meaning definition of 人类, mankind. Sorry. 全早期, early mankind. 的. Okay, this word is a single. It should be considered as a single. Okay. This 的 is a function word. Let's look up this 的. It's a kind of similar to the English of. 的. The accurate, exact, proper. This explanation is not correct. Okay. What means an accurate? The is not mean. It does not mean accurate, exact, the proper. It's a function word to. Okay. Let's see the second one. A or bullseye, a target. This one sometimes when this. The combined with other words, it could mean bullseye, a target, a clear, manifest. Okay, now, so here basically it's about a subordinate particle translated by s or with the term infer, terms inter, changed by of. You see, this one is the correct. It's a particle. It's like a preposition of. It's a function word. The here is a function word. So basically, what it means is that just a minute. Well, let's see what by ly. It's adverb. By an adjectival ending, a prepositional phrase by an adjectival ending, a prepositional phrase, or a relative. Yeah, this is basically a function word. It means, okay, let's return back to the original text. 的人类的 and which means those and the words of mankind. So this here is kind of which means you can say all the phrases behind this is modifying 人类. Okay, all these phrases, all this phrase modify this phrase. So 人类的 mankind of, that's the function of the, it's a modify, and sometimes sometimes it can be used for the the 人类 modify 原始. You can say this is this 人类 modify 原始信仰与自然崇拜. You can say this in a way, or you can say the different way is that like the of, and it's this one modifies this one 人类. Okay, so basically, and it means when we let's take this phrase out, and then we try to, okay, here this the we can change it to English. Okay, 人类. Just a minute. Okay, this is one expression. Mankind's blah 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 blah. It equals this and s in English. Mankind's, or it could used to mean human of. Okay, 人类 of 原始 blah blah blah. So this is let's turn back to this one. Basically is by s. You know, it's an s. You know, after the noun in English, or of. Basically, the function is the same as it's a function word modifying. You can say it. You can say if we in this case. If we in this case, this and the phrase 人类 modifies this phrase, right? And in this case, and then you can say, okay, this phrase modify this phrase, so it's interchangeable basically the meaning. Okay, now and one more point is that sometimes this word is not necessary. What it means is that we can just remove this 的人类原始信仰与自然崇拜. This phrase, the meaning is very similar to this phrase. You know, so here this 的 is not necessary, 100% necessary. You can omit it and then come up with this phrase. The meaning is the same, but why we should put here a function word, a a function word the, and it makes the article read smooth, and also it's a habit, it's a custom. It's just a language custom. This you will encounter this kind of function word a lot, a lot. We will talk about it a lot, like English word to, from, on, of. These words are very often. So, and when you study Chinese a lot more, you will understand this function word and what it, how to put, sometimes how you put there, or you just omit it. So this is the function word the, and the. Okay, this word is independent. It can be used to combine with other words, but it can be independent. It just put here as a function word. 的人类的 Okay, now let's see this 原始 Let's check out. 原始 is called ancient or original. Let's check out and what it means 原始. Yuanshi is ancient or original. Let's check it exactly. Yuanshi, you see, first hand, original, raw. Yeah, that's exactly that. And also primitive, primeval, origin, virgin, pristine, primordial. Yeah, this is exactly this word means. 原始, okay? It's original, raw, first hand. Okay, now we can say here the most close definition is a primitive. Primitive. It's a primitive. Okay, it's a primitive. Primitive what? 信仰. 信仰 is a religion or belief. 信仰, let's say. Let's check out 信仰. 信仰 here. 信仰 here. Let's check out. 信仰 is belief. Okay, conviction, faith. 信仰, 信仰. Basically, and the closest definition is belief. Okay, it's a belief. So it's a primitive belief. A primitive belief. It's a primitive belief. And this one is one word. Okay, it's not a phrase. This word 与, English and equivalent is and. 与 is and. It's also a function word. Okay, let's see. This is also a function word and. 与 与 与 here is and. We don't look up. It and is 与 take part in, to participate 与, and here one meaning is a kind of verb, and one of the interrogative particles. Okay, and then give up, to help, to get along with, and with, and here in our context the meaning is and or with. Well, and we here the closest meaning is and. 与. Okay, so but this word 与, it can also form many phrases. So you see, 与国际接轨, 与虎谋皮, 与会, blah blah blah, and it also has a lot of a lot of 语事无声. You see here a lot of phrases, and each phrase the 语 function is different. Okay, sometimes it's a concrete word, not a function word, and sometimes it's a function word. Like a conjunction. The English and conjunction. So here is and conjunction. So, but sometimes it's not a conjunction. It has the actual meaning. So, but here we are talking about this 语 is and, or here exactly it's and this is a primitive belief, and okay, and what and 自然 copy. Sorry. 自然 we check. 自然 is natural, nature. 自然 is nature. Okay, let's check out. 自然 sorry, nature. Okay, natural world. This is basically 自然 is nature. Okay, here now 自然. Here this is not a noun. It is a noun 自然, but here it functions as an adjective. This word 自然 here modify 崇拜. 自然崇拜. This word is a noun, right? This noun 自然 nature modifies this one. So, and basically it means natural. Okay, not nature. It's natural. So here you can put another word. You can put another word like this word in 自然的崇拜. So, and you can do that. So this here it's a modifying word. You can say this is a noun, but this noun is modifying this 崇拜. So basically the meaning is not exactly nature. It's you should use a adjective in English. It's a natural. Okay. Now and let's look at the 崇拜. All right. 崇拜 it's how to say 崇拜. Let's say let's find 崇拜. 崇拜 can be verb or noun. Okay, 崇拜 to worship. It is worship. Right? Worship in English, worship also can be noun or verb. I think it's right. Yeah, it can be. It's worship, and natural worship. Okay, and this and basically this. Okay, now let's look at this and whole. This phrase, this phrase is we can write it here. We can say Spring Festival history long, right? Spring Festival history long. So this we can say this one. So, but here the grammar is not correct, right? We are not talking Chinese for grammar. Okay, so basically here is the meaning. Spring Festival history long. Originated oh sorry. It is sorry, it's originated from early human primitive belief. Sorry. Belief and natural worship. Okay, so and here this is this half sentence. It's not finished. It's a half sentence from here, and it says Spring Festival. Now from later we will and try to and translate this and by phrase by phrase from each comma. Okay, now and we have two commas here, right? Here this is the actual meaning. Okay, and it's corresponding, and we will 春节. This 春节 here is corresponds to Spring Festival, 春节, and then history, 历史 corresponds to this word, and this 悠久 is long, right? 起源于 okay, 起源于 originate from, right? And 起源于早期人类的原始信仰，起源于早期 early human primitive belief and natural 与自然崇拜。自然崇拜 is natural worship. Okay, so basically this is all these in the sentence of what it means, and from now on we can and I will say that because I'm also a first time to do this kind of lecture. I just begin to do this kind of stuff by myself. So with the progress of my video, and we will get more and more better for this kind of explanation. I'm also gathering experience. I'm also looking at the what I said in the video, and I also feel how to express the Chinese words better to non-Chinese speakers. So my video, I believe my video will get better and better each time, because I get more and more experience in explaining the Chinese language to non-Chinese speakers. So this is the second video I made on this Chinese language. So you can imagine, after maybe after 10 videos, 20 videos, my explanation would be much more better. Okay, I'm confident on that. So just be patient. Okay, and also I will provide you with the insight, the language learning insight, when I come up with some idea. For example, at the beginning of this video, I just made a conclusion to you guys that my opinion is that you learn the Chinese word, a single word, it's a waste of time. There's not much you can do if you remember one Chinese word. It has no, sometimes it has no sense, or sometimes even in the native speaker mind, these words doesn't have any clear definition or sense. Only when it combined with other words, it has a relatively clear meaning or sense. So this is my first insight into how to study the Chinese language. And later I will find more. Okay, when I try to combine the English language with the Chinese language, it's a fun for me. It's a fun. I will find the similarities and the differences between these two languages. I will point out to you guys what is the similarities of these two languages and what is the differences of these two languages. Okay, today we just finish this. Okay, another thing is that my video is very slow because this is just the beginning. We progress very slowly. But gradually, I will believe when I set this tone, how to express myself, we will gradually speed up this process. So bear with me at the beginning. It's slow. It's a little bit, how to say, it's a little bit tedious. But when I get familiar with this kind of, talking, I will get better and better in presenting this language to you. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you next time.